In what turned out to be an absolute thriller of a match in yesterday's Kings Cup semi-final, where we saw India take on Iraq. Well, it turns out that the Indian head coach Igor Stimac hasn't taken too kindly to that controversial penalty that was given close to the 80th minute mark. We saw those replays, and as we've seen in the past, things go either way in such situations, but it was the Indian team that did not possibly get the decision in their favor, and as a result, Iraq not only scored the equalizer, but they went on to then win the match as well. As a result, now there is something that the Indian head coach has had to say. He took to Twitter and he wasn't too impressed with the level of refereeing that we saw from the officials yesterday. That is what he has to say. What exactly did the Indian head coach say? We will tell you that in just a moment, but before that, let's quickly give you a recap of what happened in yesterday's match. Was the semi-final of the Kings Cup, Iraq taking on India. Now, given the two teams as well, by the way, just a quick reminder why this match was not just edgy as far as the scoreline also reflects, but also because Iraq have been a superior team to India. India are still looking for their maiden win against Iraq. It's always been Iraq that's managed to get the better of India, and which is why you saw a lot of nerves and you saw a lot of edge in that contest yesterday between the two teams, and as well perhaps why the Indian head coach also feels that India were possibly denied an opportunity to go ahead and register their first win against Iraq. But what exactly happened over here? Also, speaking of where the two teams are as far as the FIFA rankings are concerned, India very recently made it to the under 100 mark. So India are at the moment 99. Why I say Iraq much superior? Because they're 70th placed as far as the FIFA rankings are concerned. But 2-2 it was by the end of the 90th minute, after which the match went into penalties, where 5-4 is where Iraq won. It was because Fernandez missed his penalty in the shootout that Iraq managed to win the semi-final and have now progressed to the final. India, by the way, will be fighting it out against Lebanon in a couple of days from now. We'll tell you the details of that as well. But it was India, by the way, who had taken the lead thanks to Mahesh, who scored in the 17th minute. A very well crafted goal from the Indian side, by the way. A very good pass coming in from Mahesh, who did well to deceive the keeper over there. So good lead that India taken, but a quick response that we saw from Iraq with them equalizing in the 27th minute. A penalty which wasn't contested, by the way. It is something that there is no controversy around. It is the second penalty, by the way, and look at that, around the 80th minute mark, just when India had in fact taken the lead, courtesy this own goal. Again, a rare gaffe that you see from the Iraq keeper, but it did happen and Jalal did end up conceding that own goal. So it was India that was leading into the fag end of the match, but then came this controversial moment, which is where the ball was airbound, and then you saw one of India's senior statesmen in Jhingan, who was there in that aerial duel. And we've often seen that these aerial duels do tend to go either way, but yesterday the case was such that the Indian team did not get the decision their way, and that is something that has irked the Indian head coach Igor Stimac. He feels that his team were robbed by the officials, but having said that, he is very happy of the progress that his team have made over the last couple of months. Rather, it's been a good year for Indian football, and we'll talk about that as well. But let's quickly now tell you the thoughts of the Indian head coach, who in fact after the match got over took to Twitter, and this is what he said. He said that our boys left everything on that pitch tonight, and that I am immensely proud of the effort that they've put. He also goes on to say that someone decided to rob them from winning tonight, but the time will come sooner than many expect that even referees will not be able to stop my boys winning such games. So no holds barred attack from Igor Stimac. He says that his team were robbed. That's a decision that should have gone his team's way, and that it was a contentious penalty. And as we've seen in the past as well from the Indian head coach, he doesn't shy away from making his thoughts clear, be it the ongoing tussle with the ISL clubs, or be it the fact that there was a delay of sorts in terms of the Indian contingent getting, or the Indian team getting the nod from the sports ministry as far as the participation in the Asian Games is concerned. Igor Stimac has never held back in terms of letting his feelings known to the authorities, and right now as well we saw from him a no holds barred attack from the Indian head coach, slamming the referees for a decision that had gone against his team, and he refers to that 80th minute penalty that was given to Iraq, and he felt that since the ball was airbound, there was a good enough chance of India or the decision going India's way, but it wasn't to be the case yesterday, and which is why the Indian head coach is clearly miffed with the standard of refereeing that we saw yesterday in the Kings Cup semi-final. Having said that, he remains very confident of India's progress going forward. He says that he is very confident of the team, and there will come a time wherein such decisions will no longer have a bearing and his boys will not be denied a victory. Having said that, it's been a good season for India. Remember, they won against Lebanon in the Intercontinental Cup as well. They were in fact winners of the SAFF or the SAF Cup as well, again, which had happened a couple of months back. So it's been a good season overall for Team India. A disappointing loss because it was a crunch match. India could very well have been in the finals of the Kings Cup had it not been for that controversial penalty, because India were leading up till the 80th minute mark. But what lies ahead for Team India? Two things that the Indian team will be now looking forward to. One, of course, is the third place match or the bronze medal match, which they'll be playing against Lebanon, again an opponent that they've beaten in the recent past. And then of course you've got the Asian Games to look forward to. A lot happening as far as the Asian game composition of the team is concerned. There continues to be that tussle, and the Indian head coach is still miffed with the way things are happening. But those are the two matches or the two big events that India will now look forward to. It's been a disappointing loss, but nevertheless they want to cap off the tournament with perhaps a win and that bronze medal against Lebanon. And after that, you'll see Igor Stimats's men play in the Asian Games, which start very soon. Thank you so much, guys, for watching us, and don't forget to share this video with your friends and family members. Do subscribe to Sports Day if you like what we do over here, and download the AajTak app as well, so that you get the latest scores and updates from across the world.